SCP-409 was recovered under a pile of crystal shards several feet deep. Losses of personnel during recovery were high.
I guess. So a little while back, I learned that the classification of SCP have to do with the way or how difficult they are to contain. So a safe class, for instance, is very easy to contain. A Euclid class has special containment procedures. A Keter class has very hard to contain or very difficult to contain, and Apollyon are capable of end-of-the-world type scenarios and are almost impossible to contain. So, we've never reacted to a Keter class before. We're going to do it today, but we're going to take some baby steps into it. This one is super dangerous, but it's... I guess it's relatable to a few things, and I'll explain them when we get to that. But it's SCP-409, the Contagious Crystal, and it's by SCP Illustrated. Make sure to go over to their channel and subscribe. Click the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos to SCP and horror content, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into the illustration. SCP-409. Lethal, do not touch, unstoppable and
The following data
contagious.
release has been authorized by the following council members and administration staff.
All right.
Come on, we finally managed to extract the damn crystal, but we lost nearly 2 dozen men trying to get it out, though. The rest of the men are reluctant to go near it, and I can't blame them. We're going to need some heavy-duty pulley systems here and a containment capsule you don't mind losing.
All right.
Even the ground it's now lying on is starting to crystallize. Depending on how far this crystallization effect goes, we might be looking at a serious problem. There's a small team of geologists analysing the cave it was in, so maybe we can replicate the conditions of the cave. But in the meantime, we need a capsule and a lot of body bags.
Oh god, so it killed a lot of people and they need to contain it.
Description: SCP-409 resembles a large quartz crystal, approximately 1.5 meters tall and 0.6 meters wide.
Wow.
Any objects coming in contact with SCP-409 will begin to crystallize after 3 hours.
Okay.
This effect will occur in any materials other than granite.
So it's not
The
instant.
crystallization will spread by approximately 2.5 centimeters per minute and will convert the entire object or organism inside and out.
Dang.
Subjects report this effect to be extremely painful
I guess.
and similar to frostbite. After complete crystallization, the object will make snapping and creaking noises for approximately 20 minutes before bursting into thousands of fragments with great force.
Like hardening
Anything
constantly.
touched by or touching a fragment will immediately begin to crystallize.
Oh.
Nothing at this time is able to reverse the effect in organic matter, including amputation of affected areas. Inorganic matter will only crystallize for a few centimeters around a point of contact. SCP-409 was recovered under a pile of crystal shards several feet deep. Losses of personnel during recovery were high.
I guess. So it takes 3 hours for something to start crystallizing after something touches the main crystal. But once it starts, this mass, this crystal mass starts, I guess, converting the actual organic matter into the crystals in a very painful manner. And after a little while, it starts creaking, like the hardening is getting so, I guess, compact that it explodes, and all of the shards that hit any organic matter will actually start to crystallize on that too, so it can spread. Can you imagine this in like a group of people? Oh my gosh.
Special containment procedures.
Let's hear them.
No physical contact may be made with SCP-409 for any reason.
Right.
Anyone making physical contact with SCP-409 must be contained in quarantine immediately,
So they can't spread
along
it.
with any materials used in the transport of the subject. SCP-409 must be kept in a granite case at all times. Any transportation of SCP-409 must be done in a sealed granite container.
Right.
Residue from SCP-409's effects are to be sealed in granite containers along with any tools used to transport residue into containers.
Granite, granite, granite. Heavy.
Addendum 409-1. With the suggestion of Dr. Subject 409-D5 was exposed to the effects of SCP-409 and was left to become severely crystallized.
Uh-oh.
After he was treated with SCP-500, a complete recovery was achieved in 9 days.
Wow, okay.
Subject reported that he continued to feel pain in body parts that were crystallized even after the estimated recovery time. Pain faded 13 days after subject was treated. It is unknown if the pain effect was psychological or real during the intervening 4 days.
Wow.
Addendum 409-2. Extensive testing has yielded no information as to why the crystallization occurs. SCP-409 and the shards created by it are indistinguishable from any other quartz crystal.
Poor
The
D-Class.
effect appears to be similar to a seed crystal, where a pre-existing crystal formation is added to a solution, causing the crystal to grow.
Okay.
SCP-409, however, appears to do this with all solid matter, and does not need to remain in contact.
Right.
How this is done, why SCP-409 is unique among all other quartz crystals, and why granite is the only material immune, are all still unknown.
Thank goodness that something is immune to it. If there was no substance on Earth that was immune to the spreading of this crystal, it would just increase infinitely and exponentially to the point to where it would wipe out humanity. But it's not a Polyon class, probably because granite actually stops it. It's like the kryptonite for it, you know? That's some dangerous stuff. I don't know if I can compare it to something outside of maybe, like they said, it feels like frostbite. I've never had frostbite, but have you had really dry skin before? Not crystallized, but I mean, when you think about it, when your skin's like really, really dry, it hurts, doesn't it? I know mine hurts when it gets like that. Thankfully, a little bit of lotion after a few days could do it, but I've seen some pretty brutal cases of the skin disorders and stuff like that get real scaly and stuff like that. And I can imagine these poor people look like they're tormented too. And I can only imagine what it would be like if crystal was just growing from you. You know, rock and stuff and crystal, I've seen some cool stuff before in caves, and that's how stalactites and stalagmites are formed, right? These minerals builds up over time from water being carried and dripping, and it ends up actually making a formation in caves and stuff like that. So this is something wild that just kind of happened, I guess, in this cave, and has these crazy properties, man. Very, very, very cool SCP. And SCP Illustrated, awesome drawings. Make sure to go check him out right here. And here's a couple more reaction videos that I did from SCPs here, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Uljan signing off, and we'll see you next time.